Hey guys, so I am super excited to make this video. I don't really have any idea what I'm doing, but I watch a ton of YouTube and I just figured why not make my own videos. I have a lot of things that I'm passionate about, excited about, and like want to talk about, so I figured let's do this. First of all, if you cannot hear me very well, I do not have any like audio recording equipment here. It's just my iPhone. So I'm kind of just testing it out to see how it works. But yeah, I do apologize if you are having a hard time hearing me because that is one of my pet peeves. But anyways, since money is such a big topic right now and budgeting, saving money, all that, I kind of just wanted to share with you guys 3 beauty trends, or I guess luxuries, that I refuse to spend my money on. And I am convinced that I have saved hundreds, probably thousands of dollars at this point by not doing these 3 things. So the first one is going to be false lashes. So let me preface this by saying I think you can do whatever you want to do with your appearance. You can do whatever you want to do to alter your appearance. However, I have seen so many people like stressing out so bad about how they're going to get their lashes done, or like when they're going to get their next lash appointment made. I don't know. I just feel like it adds kind of a lot of stress to an already stressful life. And I do think sometimes they look a little bit too intense, if I'm being honest. Like, I just feel like there's something to be said about just kind of taking what you have and just putting a little bit of makeup on, and I don't know. I just feel like lashes are a little bit too much sometimes. This is a controversial topic, but also I looked it up and it can cost you anywhere from $100 to $180 for a full set. And then $50 to $90 every 2 to 3 weeks. So my numbers may be a little bit off there, but that's a lot. Everything is already so expensive right now. So if you're spending like $50 to $90 every 2 weeks on your lashes, that money could be going to other things, groceries, maybe, a new outfit, like a savings account. It could be going to a lot of different things. So anyways, I am curious what your thoughts are about lashes. But the second one is hair dye, dyeing my hair. As you can tell, I kind of got that dirty dishwater blonde, sandy blonde kind of thing going on. When I was younger, my hair was like platinum blonde, looked very, very bright blonde, but as most blondes do as they age, my hair has gotten darker as time goes on, and I still am not dyeing it. I've been asked so many times if I want to dye my hair, especially because my aunt is a hairstylist, and she's always like, let me just throw a few highlights in there, it's gonna look great on you, and I just don't want the extra maintenance. I just feel like, I do like to get my nails done, so for me, it's already exhausting enough going to the nail salon for like 2 hours to get a mani-pedi. So I can't even imagine what it would be like to add on an additional, appointment to get your hair dyed. It's expensive, it's exhausting to sit in the salon, and I just feel like our energy could be put in so many different places. Like, for me personally, I'm gonna reserve dyeing my hair for when I finally go gray. Like, let's please not talk about that, okay? I don't even want to think about that, but I just feel like this, hair dye, and also I'm not trying to criticize people who dye their hair and have like beautiful like pink hair or blue hair. I actually think that's really cool. And I know what kind of maintenance goes along with that. So I respect a woman who I see and I just see her all done up. I see her hair dyed. Like, I know what goes into that. However, if you are trying to save money or be a bit more minimalist, which is kind of what I want my channel to be a little bit about, then hair dye is not necessarily like, it's not a necessity. And, you can go without it. However, I do feel like there are some exceptions for this, right? So anyways, this brings me on to my last one, number 3, fillers and injections. Like, I know this is another like super controversial topic, but I just feel like it's getting out of control at this point with like people thinking they need to have fillers in their, in their face, in their lips. Like, it really is getting out of control. When you look at some photos of some people and you see how much filler they have, I just wonder, how much did it cost, first of all, to do that? And like, I truly believe we're beautiful how God made us. And, you know, if you want to get fillers, I'm not trying to criticize you for that. I'm just saying, if you want to save money and you want to have a more minimalistic life, then this will only bring you further away from that. You know, they're very expensive. I looked it up. Apparently it's like $300 to $600 for like a Botox session. That's a lot of money. And, you know, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. Like I mentioned before, when I get older and I start going gray, I will probably start to dye my hair, right? I feel like it's going to be reserved for that time. However, the fillers and injections, I feel the same way about them. I'm like, I'm 31 and I am not going to be like getting fillers and injections yet. I want to wait until like I maybe need it, or I mean, you don't technically ever need fillers or injections. However, again, I don't want to criticize anybody for doing this. I think that if it's what's best for you and, you know, your vibe, then please do so. There are special circumstances where, yes, fillers, injections, Botox, all of that may be necessary. Of course, like, people have had car accidents, or maybe they just do not feel comfortable in their own skin and they want to kind of change things a little bit, and I think that's okay. But when I am out here seeing like young girls, really young girls out here getting collagen, like injections and Botox sessions, I am like, what is going on? Like, when I was in high school, we were not doing that. And in fact, I'm so thankful to have gone to high school when I did, right on the cusp of like when technology really started to transform, social media really started to take over. We started to get the internet on our phones, iPhones, all of that. That's like kind of when I was in high school. But I just feel like things are getting out of control now, and I feel like it's becoming the norm to like shell your money out for all these things. And I hear a lot of people talking about, I'm broke, you know, this, that, and the other. Well, certain things will help you, and how much money is coming out each month if you just decide what is truly necessary and what's not. So anyways, these are just 3 things that I know I've saved like thousands of dollars on, and I'm going to continue not using them until I absolutely have to. And yeah, I'm thankful that I have this extra money to do what I want with, to put to other things, to be able to, yeah, anyways, I'm rambling at this point, but anyways, thank you for listening to the end, and let me know what your thoughts are below. I am curious, what are some things that you don't spend money on, like that you refuse to spend money on in the beauty realm? All right, guys, bye.